Okay, so now I want to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. Again, you should have learned this back in Algebra 1, but I want to give you a little bit of a review. So if you remember, parallel lines means that they have equal slopes and they never intersect. So parallel lines look like that, except actually parallel. Perpendicular, the slopes are negative reciprocals and they intersect at 90 degrees. So like that. Now, negative reciprocal, in order to get that, so an example. Let's say that my original slope is 2. That means that my perpendicular slope, the negative, so I have to change the sign. Reciprocal means that you take this, so 2 is really 2 over 1. You take this fraction and you flip it upside down. So you would have negative 1/2. That is your perpendicular slope. Okay? So, example 5, writing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. What is the equation I don't know why that's there. What is the equation of the line that is parallel to y equals 6x minus 2 and goes through the point 1, negative 3? So parallel means that we have same slopes. So in this equation here, my slope is 6. Now we have a point here, 1, negative 3. So if we have a point and a slope, we can write it in point-slope form. So if you remember, point-slope form is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So this would be my x1, this would be my y1. And I just plug it in. So I have y minus negative 3 is going to turn positive, is equal to, my slope is 6, and x minus 1. That is the equation of a line that is parallel to y equals 6x minus 2 and goes through the point 1, negative 3. So now let's look at part B. What is the equation in slope-intercept form? So underline this. If you remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Of the line that is perpendicular to y equals negative 2x plus 2/3 and goes through 8, 5. So if it's perpendicular, that means that it's the opposite reciprocal. So you take the slope here, so my original slope is negative 2, so that means my perpendicular slope, I take the negative, so the opposite sign, so now it's going to be positive, and negative 2 is really 2 over 1, so I take this fraction and I flip it upside down. So my perpendicular slope is 1/2. So I have the slope, I have a point, I can start off in point slope form. So I'd have y minus 5 is equal to 1/2 times x minus 8. But it says it wants it in slope-intercept form. So we have to do a little bit of math here. To get it to slope-intercept form, we need to move the negative 5 over, and we need to distribute this 1/2. So I'm going to start by distributing the 1/2. This gives me 1/2 x minus 4. And then I add 5 to both sides. And that is my equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, so last one. What is the equation? I went ahead and marked off standard form, and I want to write it in slope-intercept form of a line that is perpendicular to y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5 and goes through the point negative 3, negative 5. Okay, so slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Perpendicular, That means we have to take the opposite reciprocal. So my slope here is negative 2/3. So that means that my perpendicular slope is going to be the opposite sign, so positive, and I flip my fraction over. Okay? And then we go through the same exact process as we did before. We start off with point slope form. So y plus 5, because of the double negative, is equal to 3/2 x plus 3, again a double negative. And now we are going to distribute this 3/2. So y plus 5 is going to equal 3/2x plus, and if we multiply 3/2 times 3, we get 9/2. Okay? Now I need to subtract 5. So 9/2 minus 5. Well, 9/2 is really 4.5. Minus 5 gives us negative 0.5, or negative 1/2. And that is our equation in slope-intercept form. So try these practice problems, and if you have questions, let me know.